Forgive me for this not being a scripted thing, but it's the best I can do. And I think it'll prove to be the right way to go. Think. How's that spot look actually? The feet are in, so somewhere around there, this little tripod feels pretty good. We're gonna mark with a white pen on where this is at its height right now. White pen, white pen, white pen. The blue screen feels relatively good. However, there's a lot of wrinkles at my feet, which I am curious about if they're a big deal or not. We will find out. Okay, well, a lot of things are going through my head. I'm trying to direct the shot, trying to understand what it looks like to be who I am, to be what it's like to sit here and to have this shot, especially right here. It feels like way too crotch level, but that's the kind of things that you get when you are trying to get full body. You have to deal with that. Another thing to kind of reduce that is to just sit at an angle and then to acknowledge the camera from the side, which I don't mind, but now we have a boot out. So scooting back might actually be a thing. Let me try scooting it back by like 5 inches. I do like the camera back, I can't say that. Definitely not gonna get it perfect. I actually like this kind of look right here. It feels more me. So like, you know, iPad and stuff like that. Okay, hopefully this is good enough because we have arrived at the time, okay? So, we check the green screen one more time. I'm gonna record my screen right now, also picking up my voice so I can syncopate it on this device. So we are recording on this device. Now I'm checking the green screen. The green screen is actually pretty keyed out. I don't know why there's those 2 dots at the top though. Yeah, wow. I mean, barely on. They're barely on and it gives it a nice, wow. And even now I wanna make some suggestions. I can see that the rule of thirds is not even with the green screen. Here, right there, probably better. More center. That's better. I don't know why the rule of thirds is off on my phone. Okay. Okay, so hear me out. This video can be as long as it's needed. It's just a test. And we're just having fun. Okay. Let me go get something real quick. A little cup of coffee. I'm gonna push the brand around a little bit. I'm gonna push you guys, both Selvin and Editor Paul, to try some stuff. And as I say them, I want you to try to make them happen. So if I say, I want you to zoom in on my face right now and put me in where my eyes are just above, just on the lower third, sorry, the upper third line, I want you to do that. So I could see how much detail is in my face from this distance at 1080p. And then I want you to zoom back out to the level we are. Now I want you guys to come together and try to change this scene, this whole scene, into an intimate forest. And scenes have to drive a message. There might be a scene that we go to often, but when I'm just trying to talk to you something, it invites you in to feel a certain way. We're trying to make scenes that feel a certain way. You know how that one girl, Jordan Peterson's daughter, had those nice maroons? That feels like autumn, that powerful maroon that's also in Robert Greene. His background, his color palette, those colors are also in Lo-Fi Girl, those maroons. Those maroons do something. And so it's possible that the forest that we create has colors and textures that help elicit a feeling. I want to have an intimate conversation where it's isolated and feels fun, then we're going to go to that scene. And so I want you guys to create that scene, and I want you to put me in that scene when I snap my fingers. So we're going to change me to the scene that I'm describing, which is an intimate scene where it's mostly focused on my message. It's kind of neutral, relaxing, and just you and I, and we're going to go into it right now. Okay, so now I'm in the scene. Don't know what the scene looks like, but hopefully it has some elements around it that feel nice. I know that we're trying to create movement in the foreground. We're trying to do all this stuff. However it is, hopefully I'm in that scene now. Now I want to go back to the blue screen room that we're in now. Okay, so now what I want to try to do is try to swallow us into that scene. So how could we change this into the scene? Not just a snap, but like a rise. Does it kind of wave in from the side, or does it come up from behind? Does it kind of start from the feet and disappear? How can we kind of take me there, like a crossfade into it? Just so it's kind of fun. From, you know how they call like breaking the fourth wall? I want to reverse breaking the fourth wall. I want to go from this scene to the forest, and editor Paul will choose a sound effect that kind of rises us in there. So let's, so on 3, 1, 2, 3, I'm back in the forest. Now that I'm in the forest, I want us to try to go to a place where I can illustrate some points where we make this forest an infinite space. The infinite space needs to be like a gridded floor. That gridded floor has that nice grit textures, gritty, gridded floor with gritty textures. You know, that Death Cab for Cutie tear, that nice little, like, you know, it's a grid and it's infinite. I don't want the grids to be too close together, so it's like crazy on the eyes. I want the grids to be spaced out maybe by like 1 to 2 foot square that go infinitely into the background. But I want it to feel infinite, like that Matrix scene. And so I'm gonna snap my fingers. We're gonna go from the forest to that scene right now. Okay, now we're gonna go back to the forest now. Okay, so now I'm back in the forest. I wanna try to, the same way, I wanna swallow the forest with that infinite grid. You just gotta trust me on this. These are scenes that I think we could use to display, to relax the viewer's eyes and explain information. And so that's something I think would be kind of good for the viewer. And I want to go back to this infinite scene when the user is expecting information. When I talk to them about the specs of a camera, how I feel about certain topics, I might use this scene. And so we're going to fade from the forest into the grid. We're going to try to wipe it away with an additional sound effect chosen by Paul that kind of matches the nice, soft, low swoosh. On 3, 1, 2, 3, swoosh. Do we do it? How does it look? Does it look good? Now, because I'm in a blue screen, I can technically be anywhere. And so I want to take me and I want to push me to the viewer's right third, and I want some placeholder text to come in floating in the screen. So on 3, I'm literally gonna slide over in my chair to the right third, nice and smooth, and on the left third, text is gonna come in, and it's gonna be all lorem ipsum in Helvetica bold and, you know, italicized. You don't have to worry about the font just yet. We'll choose some fonts. Okay, so on 3, 1, 2, 3, I slide over, text comes in. It'd be nice if the text came in too and wrote itself. We have to learn those types of skills. I think that'd be nice. Pretty cool, right? Now, sometimes people do some fun stuff with text, like they make it move. Can you guys try that? Just to give it a little bit more life. Nice. You guys are doing a good job. Let's remove the text and center me. Okay, now I'm center. Now, I want to try to push me really small away in this open space. So, you know how there's the rule of thirds? I want to be down, all the way down, almost to the bottom right third. So I look really small. Now, you can see all the space that we have to display stuff. Why don't we try showing a product? For example, let's now put in a Sony a7C Mark II in the scene in the larger portion of the scene that's in the middle in the left third. And it would be nice if you guys could put a drop shadow underneath that Sony a7C Mark II so it has weight. You see what I'm saying? Now I want to quickly remove that camera, that product, and then swoosh me back to center third. We're back. So you can see what I'm doing. I'm trying to play with like bringing products in and out fast. Is that expensive? Does it cost too much? Does it even add value? Is this something we want to do? I'm curious. Okay. Now, I want to test a difficult scene. So I want to test the burning house scene. I'm attracted to that scene. So behind me is a burning house and there's a fire and it looks almost like, but I don't have the power to do that right now. We're just testing stuff out. So snap my fingers, put the burning house behind me now. Now, whatever you're seeing right now, the reason why this kind of things are interesting is because I want to know that we have the power to kind of tell a story. And also, contradiction sometimes could be powerful in storytelling. Like, imagine if I was just talking about a new camera right now. Like, yeah, the Sony a7C Mark II is a pretty good camera. I like it. I've been using it for 6 months. I want to tell you what I liked about it. And this was happening in the background, whatever we did, it would be like, what the heck's going on? You know, it's kind of fun. Let's try to do something kind of interesting. I wanted to try to do something where I'm really far away and we zoom in on me. And so I want the screen to go black right now. It's black. So the screen is black again now, and then it moves out to the right and reveals me hundreds of feet away. And then and while I'm speaking, that hundreds of feet changes. It closes the distance. So it gets closer to me in the forest to the regular standard view of me in the middle third. So we're traveling through Blender with the camera at the speed of my sentence, and it stops like around now. Also, I want Paul to do some really difficult things. Like, I need you, Paul, to really think and figure this one out. It's gonna suck, but I need all of the meme sounds. And they have to be perfectly named in one folder. We're talking about vine booms, fart sounds. Like right now, I want you to zoom in on my face and give me a fart sound. Motherfucker, dude. Kid, zoom out, zoom out, zoom out, zoom back out. All right, nah, fool, zoom out, Paul. What the hell, dude? Zoom out, Paul, man. You're too close, man. Stop playing the fart sound. No more fart, no more poop emojis. No. Stop the poop emojis. No, not the fire emojis. Dude, stop it. Stop it. Stop it. Back up. Okay. Yes, okay. That's very funny. Could you give me some sun rays in the top left-hand corner? And give me an anime. Wow. Okay. I'm trying to think about what else. Sometimes I wish you guys could do some crazy shit, like have a car do a donut around me on the street. You know what I'm saying? Like if you could put me in the street, like it looks like a suburban street, and have a car going whoo, around me, you know, that's a tough one. If you could figure that one out, bonus points. Or you could just flash on the screen, hell no, couldn't figure it out, it's too expensive. Just scoot me over and shrink me down if you need to one of the right thirds. And as they say, you enter from the left. And so let's have the figurines slide in from the left. And I want one of them to be taking a selfie. Maybe the figurine has a camera on a tripod, and you use your drawing facial expressions to have the figurine feeling like sort of fearful and perplexed, and then all of their friends and family are around them looking at the figurine like, you're an idiot. But then while they're here, so he's there, I like a subtle shift in movement. And I don't know how expensive this is, but I want the figurine to go from feeling shame and worry to confidence. And around him, his confidence is inspiring everyone around him. And so the one scene is the character, like I've described, experiencing the fear of the family, and then he's uncertain, he's an uncertain content creator, and then every single one of them shifts. It's a shift. It's a shift in the body language. it's subtle, but it's like Apple in the sense. Apple always tells you where to go. Nothing just disappears. It doesn't just. So we want to shift in all of the figurines in enough ways that's just enough to convey that there was a change in demeanor. Want to try one more just for sake? Can we try one more? This one might involve arms. So our figurines don't have arms. And I want one figurine to point and be angry at another figurine. So slide in an authoritative figurine that has the authority, and then another one that doesn't have much authority. It's just a littler figurine. And I want the one with authority to point at it, and then the other one to cower, to show somebody who's using an abuse of power. Was that difficult? How does that look? Is it amazing or is it just ridiculous? AI is tough, Blender's tough. I don't know. I'm just a guy in a blue screen. Put me back in my blue screen right now. So how'd that go? How was the test? I had a lot of fun. I was listening to some music on repeat. I wonder how that's gonna be. I'll reach over here and grab my coffee. Get pretty, like I said, I'm trying to get pretty crazy here. Have some fun. Anyways, this test is coming to an end. Selvin, I don't know what scene we left off in. I think I'm inside of the grid. Let's put me back in the forest at the snap of a finger. And now, as I drift away, I want to wave to the camera as I'm getting further and further and further. And Paul, you can start ducking out my voice so it's getting quieter and quieter. And then I want to go behind the tree and I'd say, bye everybody. Please subscribe. Thank you. And test.